exciting and new. Come aboard, we're expecting you. And love, life's sweetest reward, let it flow. It floats back to you. Soon we'll be making another run. The love boat promises something for everyone. Set a course for adventure, your mind on.
Oh, wait, here's another happy football fan.
And here comes Derek Warrington.
Derek.
Yeah, everyone's coming in. That's great.
Yep, Derek's there.
Yeah,
Video on, mute off. That's looks
yeah,
if I'm all
you're
there.
good. You're good, sir.
You're right.
The-
Looking good.
Whoever that is connecting to audio, you also need to connect to video.
That's Chris Chapman. He messed around with it.
Chris. Okay. It's connecting to audio.
Yeah, we're good.
Can you hear us, Gizzy?
I can hear you, Dave. Yes.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Yeah, Gizzy.
Sorry, Giz, we took that second position off you, mate. You won't have it for a day.
We'll catch you. Only temporary.
Yeah.
There's John.
John Herbert.
Hi, John.
John Herbert.
And Steve, it's working. It's working, Steve.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
All right, John. Is that a panoramic view of Nick Howard?
I can't get any sound.
Oh, there we are. We've got you.
You have now, Chris.
You're good.
Chris.
You're good, Chris.
Yeah,
Chris,
but I'm not getting any. So can you hear me?
Yes.
You can.
Yeah.
You can.
Yes.
Yeah. He
Okay,
needs
as long as
to
you can hear
connect.
me. I'm not getting any feedback here.
Well,
That's
he
good.
needs,
Okay, cool.
he needs to connect to his device's audio. That comes up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Both me
So
thumb.
we've got 8.
Yeah. We got 9, Steve. Well, we got 8 and Nick Howard's painting.
Yeah. Nick Howard, he's just finishing the hoovering.
Yeah.
He's just polishing the
Brendan.
international bar down
Brendan. Oh, and the
polishing
Hogan's coming
international
in.
lounge
Hey,
floor.
there we
Yeah.
go. Hey.
There
There
it is.
we go,
Where
that's
is it?
Brendan.
There's Hogan.
No.
He's just polishing the international lounge floor.
That's good. Right, that's good. Yeah, give me thumbs up.
How can I? My sound is not very loud. How
Anything
can I make it
super tall?
louder?
We
You need
can
to
hear
turn
you,
the
Chris.
volume up.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, but I can barely hear you
What
guys.
is it? And Mark.
Try using some headphones, Chris.
There we
Yeah,
go. There,
good do.
there we
Good
got
do.
Mark Proctor in St. Louis. St. Louis. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah.
have you got a little speaker icon on the right-hand side of your computer or laptop?
No, I can't. No, all I'm seeing is me and 3 others. Where's the instructions on this? That's the only part. I haven't got
We
that
can
yet.
hear you
I haven't found
fine,
it.
Chris. It's good. We got you.
Just touch the bottom of your
Yeah,
device.
he can't hear us, John.
Okay. Okay.
Not very well.
I can hear you, but you're very faint.
Well, that's
Oh my
obviously
God.
his laptop or his device. Oh,
Try turning your volume up, Chris.
Yeah, I've tried that. It's up
He's
full.
got it.
Yeah.
Hello, Jimmy. Can you hear me?
yes,
Flossy's
fine.
here,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
got Flossy.
We can
Brendan?
hear everybody. It's all good.
Yeah.
Hang on there, mate. You bang
All
on.
right, yeah.
We can hear, we can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phil Butcher is starting a video chat on Messenger.
No, I told you.
no,
I told you. No. Dave, Dave, I told
Hang
you
on.
this would happen.
Phil's just joined the video chat.
I told you this would happen, Dave. For Christ's
Colonel, I phoned Phil 5 minutes ago and I just said, go to Messenger to receive your last invitation. I'll have to do an Ollie Pocket. I'm sorry.
No, you're not
I
doing,
think you did
you're
it
not
on
doing it on his
purpose,
pocket.
Dave.
You're not
You
You
doing
did it on purpose just to keep Ollie's pocket going.
I'm drinking coffee. I think I'm switching to beer. It's only 11 o'clock here in Seattle.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm on beer, mate. I'm celebrating.
Yes, where is he? Right, Phil.
Oh, fuck. Anyway, while Dave is messing around, I tell you what we
Yeah.
have today, guys. We have like this. We have 3 persons. I'm talking. We're having 3 persons in the crew bar today. We're having Peter Pratt, Mike Hawksworth, and Martin Hawker. Guaranteed,
There it.
Oh, wow.
Good, good, right.
guaranteed they're going to be in.
Yeah.
Good
Oh,
stuff.
that's good.
And the caveman.
Peter, did you get my message regarding Dave?
Yeah,
and Leslie?
Dave and Liz, yeah. Was she
Okay.
all right? Sounded a bit.
She's fine. She's
Hello.
fine.
We saw
And they're going to join up in a couple of weeks, but at this moment, they're not quite ready. And I'll explain it all at another time.
I was
Great
thinking
stuff.
about
Just
that.
asked me to say that
Did you see?
they're not
the,
quite ready, but they will.
Communication.
We'll join
Okay.
up later.
I
Great
was
stuff.
thinking about that the other day.
Thank you.
No problem.
15, we're doing well. Yeah.
Pud Hillman. What about Pud Hillman?
Their lighting must be better or something.
Hey,
Their lighting is correct.
Malcolm, hi.
Just,
Evening, everybody.
Are
Thank you,
you
Malcolm.
Good.
Oh, right.
Touch the screen.
Caveman.
Yes, Mal.
Just touch any part of those.
Hi, guys.
Of the letters.
Welcome.
Malcolm. Over by a shit. Get out the way.
Into the start of
This is where you choose the background.
But you will.
Kevin's here.
Yeah, that's on my phone.
Yeah.
They're talking. Yeah.
You should know how to do that, Kevin.
So you need to go onto the messenger,
Kevin,
the invitation.
Yes, there's been
Yeah,
moved there.
go back to that.
It's for fun.
That last
We can change it back or something.
screen. You should.
Do that.
Approve.
Derek's iPad. Oh, well, we almost lost Derek. Oh, there he's back. You're back.
By the way, I just muted Ollie's pocket, by the way.
Right. Okay.
Tom, what have you done to your screen?
There you go.
Tell him I'm playing around with it.
Yeah, my wife is playing around here. She won't leave it alone.
Oh, no, you're talking.
No, not me, the laptop I'm talking about.
Oh,
We're just getting settled. We're just getting settled.
All right.
No, I was
Kevin.
trying to figure out, I was just trying to figure out how you put your own picture in the background for the fun, because it all looks very black and white. The lighting doesn't seem very good or something.
Can I come in on that? Tell you how to put a picture on.
Yeah,
In the top left-hand corner, there's a little green arrow inside a
Okay.
shield.
oh, yeah, okay.
If you click on that little green shield with an arrow, there a little box will come up.
where you be?
Okay, and then you just upload your picture.
Yeah, in the top right-hand corner of the box that appears is a little wheel, a settings wheel. If you click on the
Okay.
settings wheel,
Oh, I don't know. You were.
if you click on the settings wheel, you'll get another screen that
Okay.
has background and filters on it.
A minute.
And you can add pictures on your background and filters.
And we need to welcome First Officer Mike Gold, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, John. How are you all?
I'm
Hello,
good.
Mike.
And for the purpose of the crew bar, you can call me the Colonel, because we have 2 Johns. We have John Kremlin and John Herbert. So
Yeah, but we're still on the phone.
Oh, I got to mute Ollie's pocket again. Sorry.
All right, Colonel, I heard that. I'll,
No, it's good. It's all good. It's all good, sir. It's all good. Yeah.
forgive me.
I think I'm on.
Man, you're muted.
I'm here. Back. I'm back. Sorry, I'm back. That's funny.
There you
John
go.
keep reaching us. Christ's sake, John.
Dave, you're muted.
Give him a bit of power.
No, I did not. I muted Dave, not you.
You're muting us
Oh.
all.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
No,
Colonel
no.
muted me while I was trying to talk
Yeah, no,
to
I-
Phil in
I
his
mute-
pocket.
I
He's a
muted.
mute dictator.
I muted one person. That was Dave. If everyone else was not
Yeah.
muted, trust me.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's all right.
Well, we might get Phil coming in, but he's got to do it on his phone. But we'll see. But hello, Nick. Nice to see a moving picture apart from all the stills you've got behind you.
That's some of them they're actually drawings. They're made line by line with about a centimetre between each line. When you do enough, you get an image way beyond my pay scale.
Well done. Well done. Well done. I'm sorry. I was on the phone with Phil, so I haven't had a chance to say hello to all the new fans. Hello, Mike Gold. Nice to
Hello
see
there.
you, Mike.
Good to see
Caveman
you.
looking good.
Hello.
Yeah, that's all right. And Bobo.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't see Bobo down there.
And I have seen everybody else or heard from Ireland and everything. So good, lovely. Right then.
Yeah.
Now we have a special story tonight, don't we, John?
Well, we got. Well, yeah, we'd like. Well, let's wait on that from Scotty. Because
and Ollie's there.
Okay.
Ollie.
Where's Scotty going?
I'm still here, Colonel.
There he is.
Yeah.
I'm right next to it on my screen.
He's row 3, dead centre.
Okay.
John, there are loads of people who are on mute.
Okay,
Because
well,
you've muted them and they
I have
don't
no
know
control over that.
They're
Chris
all,
Chapman's
no,
on
no
mute.
one's on mute.
Ollie's on mute.
Are they?
Well, they need to unmute themselves then, because
Ollie,
No, did he?
Ollie, say hello, Ollie.
Hello, Ollie.
Oh, you can hear it. Ollie's okay.
I have a page.
Can you hear me?
Can you
I
hear
have
me
a-
now?
I have a page that tells me who's muted, and right now,
Okay.
no one is muted.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, a mute-free zone.
Did you say muted or neuted?
Right.
Oh.
Make everybody aware, John, that
Just
if
speak for
you
yourself,
mute them,
Supercar.
they have to unmute themselves.
Oh,
Yeah,
Phil. Oh, he's back on Messenger. Phil's back on Messenger. No, he's not.
Really?
Yes, yeah. He's having a video chat with everyone that's not on here on Messenger.
He does that
I
at the
expect
moment,
it in the back pantry.
he does that every night at the moment.
I know he does it every night.
Yes, he's got a little bit of finger trouble there.
Well, we've all.
Most pleasant.
Oh dear. Yeah. Oh, flipping. Oh, sorry. Well, Mike, sorry, I forgot. We haven't put our glasses on for Taffy yet. I'll put this back on. Sorry, Mike. I can't know if you can see.
I can't see nothing, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the race is on and I will have to go fairly shortly.
Right.
If you go, then you miss all the purses, Mike. We got 3 purses on coming on at about 7:30.
Oh, well, that long. Where the hell
I
they
thought you said about 1:30 to be on.
Yeah, but it's dining time and the Memside's eaten hers, but
Right.
I escaped to do this.
Well done.
Say hi to you all, and I love to see you, and I love to see the 2 ones with the ship in the background. That's rather fine.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well done, cameraman Malcolm, and also Steve. Oh, and there is another Sun Princess behind Brendan, actually, Mike. It's a small cruiser, but it is called Sun Princess, isn't it, Brendan?
It belongs to a dodgy Irishman who's out in Athlone.
Yeah.
I don't think Noel's got it anymore, but that's his boat, Sun Princess.
Yeah, it's
we visited and they took us out on a wonderful day.
Sad to think where she is now. Anyway,
she's gone to Hong Kong to make razor blades, I think. Yeah.
No, she's lying on her side off Thailand, isn't she?
She's still there.
Still there, is she?
No, has she not been going
Still
up?
there.
No, I think
No, I
she's
think
trying to be cut up.
Right.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, them bastards just let her go, didn't they?
Yeah.
Sad end.
Left all
sad
the
end.
gunboat doors open and let her go.
Let's think about Palm Island.
Yes.
I'm on Palm Island now. I'm on there
Palm
now.
Island was my
Yeah.
favourite.
Definitely. Well,
Every Wednesday.
That's
Every
exactly
Wednesday.
where I am at the moment. I'm on Palm Island with a ship in the background.
Brilliant.
I never went to Palm Island. I'd left Sun Princess when you started going there, but I've seen the pictures. It looks as though you guys had a pretty fabulous time over there.
It was a good day, Palm Island. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So while we've got First Officer Mike Gold here, I want Scotty to tell us the accounts of the sad events when he was associated with the ferry disaster. What is it? Was that the anniversary today, Scotty?
Elmer's just
Yeah.
up on mine.
I think it is. It's 34 years
Good Lord, is
today or tomorrow.
Good Lord.
Herald of Free Enterprise, I think it's today, actually.
Yeah, 34 years for the Herald of Free Enterprise capsized.
Lord.
Oh, terrible.
I was sitting at home watching the TV, the news, and I saw all the events. And then I realized that I had to go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, the following morning, on the Free Enterprise 5, which was one of the older ships that they had at the time. Didn't have any stabilizers, etc. And we were on our usual trip to Calais. Of course, when I turned up for work, everybody's down in the dumps a bit, and we were all watching the news and seeing what was going on, talking about who we knew on board. And this generally carried on, and then we're loading passengers for the first trip. And the captain makes his announcement, we're going to sail. And you actually had passengers saying, I hope you shut the doors, and that was enough to piss everybody off, really.
Yeah.
Well, my job on there, I was a storekeeper at the time. And the stores, I don't know whether you know, did you ever go on there, Brendan, on the FE5?
Yeah, I worked on that ship, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And you, yeah.
Dave would have done, yeah. Dave
did.
Yeah, and the storeroom on there was below the car deck and right up the forward end. And as you're going along, you could hear every bash of a wave, and you could feel the ship rolling a little bit. And it was quite unnerving, really, being down there that very first morning on the very first trip after we found out about the Herald. That went on for a few days, and then it fell to Bill Reed. I don't know if any of you know Bill Reed. Well, Brendan does.
Yeah, he worked on cruises, Bill Reed. He knows quite a few.
Yeah, he was on Chusan and Oronsa. He was a head waiter.
Lovely guy.
And his wife, Connie, was a telephonist. And it fell to Bill to read out the crew list of the Herald's crews that were on that night. And as he read down the list, he had to say survivor or did not survive. And that was quite a touching thing. All of the catering crew were in the crew mess room. And we knew quite a few of the people that were on there. And I dare say the people that lived in Dover knew a lot more than I did, because I'm about 25 miles from Dover.
He's cleaning his glasses.
So that was a sad day, and that led to all sorts of changes of rules and regulations on health and safety, and my job then turned into something else where I had to arrange the muster lists for the whole crew, knowing who had lifeboat certificates and marine evacuation certificates, all that sort of thing.
Okay, Scotty, thanks a lot. Scotty, that's, I mean, obviously it's very sad, but we need to get back into the cheery mode.
Yeah, okay.
Elmer and Jeannie, welcome.
Elmer.
Hello.
Yeah.
Elmer.
Top of the morning, gentlemen.
And the same to you. Good evening here.
Oh, you're here too.
No, it's not, Elmer. You're in California. It's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I know, but it got down to about 45 degrees.
Oh, that's cold.
Yeah, no, that's quite warm, Brendan.
I know.
But it's not Miami, I'll tell you that.
It's cold for California.
Yeah, we're dealing with it,
I want to say hi to Pete Stevens.
Hi, Jeannie.
And to Chris Chapman. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Jeannie. How you doing?
Hi, Chris.
Doing fine. Chris, I have
Elmer,
something
nice
else.
to see you. Nice to see you, Elmer.
Chris, I just came on to a small video of our Cole Porter show and the nights on the streets, you know, where you're doing the dialogue. Can I put that on YouTube?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
That was one of our first productions, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was good too. It was fun.
Yeah, that was a good little show.
Okay, gentlemen. Seeing that I'm not playing too much because of the fact that they won't let us play this older boys, you know. So I show you what I've been doing. Besides a musician, I'm a wood carver. I want you to see some of this.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
This is a three-dimensional, this is Slim Pickens. Slim Pickens. Okay, that's one of them.
Thank you.
Now here,
Wow.
here's another one. This is a fisherman I carved out of basswood.
Quite phallic.
Okay.
Most pleasant.
Okay, since I've been, this is a relief painting.
Wow.
Hey, Elmer, Drew.
Didn't realise such a talent, Elmer.
I think of the Tony Austin trio, you guys, that wonderful atmosphere you always created up there in the Union Jack Bar and the Spirit of London and then later the Sun Princess. We had that place jumping by lunchtime. Do you remember?
Oh, do I ever. That was the most fun we've had there for 1 hour. Everybody was dancing. We had musicians coming and sitting, playing with us, and everybody was having a jolly great time.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was a picture of.
There was never another bar like that on any of the ships. Another bar like that Union Jack Bar. It was a fabulous place.
And you know, Chris, you brought a lot of really good stuff when you came over. When P&O kind of took charge, you brought a lot of really good stuff to our ships.
Well, thank you. It was kind of a challenge when we took over the IP. I remember it, November '74. There was a very funny atmosphere. Obviously, taking over from all the Norwegians who were losing their jobs, all their personal
That's
staff,
right.
the
That's
Italian
right.
personal staff,
Yeah.
the Italian dining room staff were very apprehensive. But you remember, we got through it, and we had that lovely man in charge, Captain Brian Biddock. He was a sweetheart of a man, and
Wonderful. He was wonderful. Yes.
oh, I always liked that. And of course, Dickie Harris was a good purser, and it took a while, but we, you know, and I believe we started with a Christmas cruise that was never the best of cruises on any ship I ever went on. To start the new flag with the Christmas cruise was even more challenging, wasn't it?
That's right. That's right. Anyway, good to see all you gentlemen. I can't recognize everybody and I don't know everybody, but I know a lot of the names.
That's okay, Jeannie.
Everybody still looks good.
Yeah,
So
we've all aged as you haven't.
Oh yeah, who hasn't? Elmer is 92 this year.
Look good, Elmer.
And I'll be 90 in January.
Wow.
Wow.
Where's
He still looks as fit as a fiddle.
Well, we feel pretty good. But
Still don't know we got that fiddle under his chin.
We've been very lucky.
Maybe you just need tuning up a bit every now and again, Jeannie?
What's that?
Maybe you just need tuning up a bit every now and again.
No, that's right. That's right.
Anyway, a couple of pigs here are straightened right out.
Pig's ears. Good on you.
We've all got a pig's ear.
I saw a picture of Mike Larvin on Facebook today in his prime.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, it really brought things back, actually, just to see him. He was such a lovely person, and to see him in his prime there brought back so many memories, actually, just that one photograph.
Yeah, I know. He was a very, very nice man. And his wife was nice.
I thought I'd be able to see half a dozen people.
While we're on the subject of the Union Jack Bar, does anybody remember Billy Berger and what's happened to him?
Of course we do.
Passed away quite a few years ago.
Yes.
Didn't Billy Berger pass
can,
away?
Yes, he
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I can clarify on that.
Jim Vader, I thought we just couldn't contact him. I didn't know he passed away.
Yeah, I can tell you that it was. It's a number of years ago now, because when I had one of my pubs, I had a huge 40th birthday bash. So that's 27 years ago. Dave, you were there, weren't you?
I was.
He was there.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
And not long after that, I received a message from, I think it was his sister, that he passed away. And I notified a few people, but of course, most people were still sort of at sea then. And I actually went to his funeral up in Bingley. And I think I was actually the only one of his former shipmates there, so I represented everybody. Yeah, it was quite a sad occasion because Billy wasn't all that old.
No.
He was such a nice guy. He really was a nice guy.
Yeah, he was cremated, and he's in Bingley Churchyard.
Brilliant.
Jim.
Boys, going back to another cheery subject, we've got to hit the highs, we've got to hit the lows. We're coming in for another high now, and it is a special hi to Mike Hawksworth. Well done.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, Mike's arrived. Mike, can you hear us and everything?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
we can.
great.
We can.
Oh, it's Mike.
Yes.
Hi, Mike.
Let's got the dish. Let's got the dishwasher on.
Listening to, you can hear right at the moment. Yes. No, Mike, very special welcome to the Crew Bar. Cheers to you. Obviously, on your first welcome to the Crew Bar, we all love to hear just a very brief resume as far as when did you go to sea, what was your first ship, and then obviously where did you end up? What year did you finish?
Well, I joined the Orsova in 1960 in December as a cadet purser in Tilbury, and away for 5.5 months going around the world. And life went on from there, really. The highlights probably were 1987 on the Pacific Princess up the River Thames when the Queen came on board for the P&O's 150th anniversary. Taking out the Royal Princess as a new ship. And then in 1995, I left the Crown Princess and went ashore to take over from Steve Morton-Smith as the Director of Hotel Operations for New Builds, which was a very interesting period of my life. It was like being in permanent dry dock, and you didn't have any problems about drinking.
Very good. Yeah, lovely.
And also, Dave, meeting up, having a long chat with you at Maurice Onslow's funeral.
Yes. I was going to say that was probably the last time we met, which was, it's always the wrong occasion, but it's lovely to see the faces.
Well, that's the only good thing about funerals, really.
Yeah. Yes.
As long as you're there speaking to someone, that's what makes it different.
Yeah. And also, Dave, I was very impressed.
Good evening. How are we doing? All right. Oh, we've got another one in. This is getting big. Pardon? This is getting big. Lots of people.
Such a way with words.
Sorry. I know. My hands are above. I'm okay. My hands are.
Go quiet.
I did speak to Alan Hale. I did speak to Alan Hale yesterday. Because I hadn't actually spoken to him since I went to his wife's funeral 2.5 years ago. And he sends his regards to everyone he knows, even if he can't remember most of you. He's over 90 now, and doing well. Luckily, some.
Oh, good. I remember Alan Hale when I first joined P&O. Mike, Alan Hale was the first purser I sailed within the Arcadia, the old Arcadia. I think it was in 1970. And then I sailed with him again briefly, and then I sailed with him again briefly in 74 when I took over as cruise director of the Canberra for the last leg of a world voyage. That's the last time I saw him. Well, he's in his 90s now. Wow. Well, I'm glad he's still well.
He's very well. He said he's a bit deaf, and he's cut his sight's not as good as it used to be, and he's a bit doddery, but he's still in his garden. And he remembers Derek. He remembers Derek Warmington when Derek was a child. But he sounded exactly the same as he always did. I knew instantly it was his voice.
He loved his garden. He always used to say that when he was on leave, his wife called him in and it was getting dark, which I thought was rather nice, actually. Is he still living? Is he living on his own, or is he?
He's living on his own.
Gosh,
they sold the place in outside Hazelmere about.
Oh, I know. He was up near Camden, wasn't he? Yeah. Mm.
And he moved down to Cheltenham towards Evesham to be nearer his son, which worked out well because his son does all the shopping and this sort of thing for him now.
Because the other Alan's a bit of a mystery. Whatever happened to Alan Simpson?
We passed away years ago, didn't we?
Did you hear that definitely? Because I remember having conversation with the late Maurice Onslow. Neither of us knew what had happened, and he didn't respond to any contacts in Germany. And this is some years ago, so we just assumed he had, but we just didn't know.
Derek Houghton tried to contact him through the Merchant Navy Off Suspension Fund. Well, he was looking for an Alan Simpson, but of course he wasn't Alan Simpson at all. James Albert, I think he was.
I think it was JC, yeah.
Bearing in mind, when he retired, he was invited by the management in Southampton, probably including yourself, Derek, to a luncheon in the Yacht Club in Southampton, and accepted the invitation and never turned up. I got a message from him afterwards saying something the worst. That'll teach the bastards, he said.
Peter Pratt tells a few good stories in his book about Alan Simpson.
I didn't bother to stop to it. So I really don't know. I imagine he's dead now.
Well, I did hear that some years ago. I can't remember where it was, but I did hear that he passed.
Right. Yeah.
Could I ask Alma and Chris a question? I don't know if they remember this. Were you there when the Harry James band came on board the Sun Princess or the Spirit of London?
Yeah, I can remember that, Chris.
Do you remember that, John? And what happened was I wasn't aware of the big band sound. I was very young, so I was into pop music. And we were in the International Lounge, and they were setting up this band, the Harry James band, and the band took up the whole of the dance floor in the International Lounge. And Vince Grealish was the barman, and he said to me, I said, what's all this big band stuff? I've never heard of it. And he said, well, just wait till these guys kick off. And then it was after dinner, they did a session in the International Lounge, and I was stood there and I thought, well, what's all the big deal? And then all of a sudden, they just launched off. And I don't know if anybody else was there or on that particular cruise, but it was just the most amazing sound. It blew the whole International. I mean, the International Lounge was a very big lounge. Yeah. And they took up the whole dance. There was no room to dance for the passengers. You just had to listen to the music. And it was so loud. And then they used to finish there, because I remember when we were in the International Lounge, we always had to go to the Starlight to help them out for the rush. And then half those musicians used to go up there to the Starlight Lounge with Jack Duff, and they used to do jam sessions right through to the early hours of the morning. And it was just an amazing cruise. And I just wondered if anybody else, obviously John was on it, and anybody else was on the ship when that happened.
Well, some of the band members did come down to the crew mess, but Harry James never came down with them. I remember that.
We need to interrupt everybody. Dave, can you welcome Phil, please?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Oh, Phil.
Finally. Well done, Phil.
Dave.
There you are, Barman.
I got it in on the email.
Yes.
On the email. There we are. Johnny, thanks for sending the email. Colonel, thanks for sending the email to Phil, because it was easier to connect via the messenger.
Came through straight away.
That's great. Anyway, that's wonderful. But I'm remiss because last week when my great mate Bobo was on, I cut him off after 5 minutes. So he promised me that he would continue his story when he flew out with fleet manager Derek Warmington to Vancouver, and he needs to finish the story off. So everybody be quiet while Bobo tells what happened.
First of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
And we're sitting comfortable.
I've just changed onto this iPad, so it's all new to me. So, but yeah, Colonel's good at cutting me off lots of times in the bar there. But now go back to my story because it was my second ship. I'd come from the Canberra, pretty dismal start to being a first tripper, doing some medi cruising. I was a waiter, and then I didn't like it, and then I went home for a couple of weeks, and I was on this standby. I didn't know what standby was, but they said, "Oh, just have your bags packed ready. You may get a telegram in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever." And I got this telegram, and it said, "Join the Arcadia in Vancouver." And I was a young lad, only 21 years of age. To be quite honest, I'd only been to France and Spain. I didn't even know where Vancouver was. So I checked the atlas. And anyway, basically, it said, go to London to the P&O building, which was near Aldgate East Station. I remember catching the train from Coventry to Aldgate East Station, and I went there, and then we all joined each other. I got my name signed off. Things were going really well, and we took the coaches. I think, Derek, was it Gatwick we left from? I think we left from Gatwick. Yeah. And then it was...
Actually, excuse me 1 minute. I'm afraid I've got to bail out. I'm being called to my evening.
Okay, all right.
Okay, anyway, nice to see you. We'll see you again.
Good night, Derek.
Derek. How do I come out of this? Oh, leave. Yeah, there we are. Come on, fellas.
As bad as me, Derek.
Say Aldgate East, Aldgate West, Aldgate something else.
Aldgate East, Aldgate West, Aldgate Fact.
Carry on, Bobo. Carry on, Bobo.
Okay, I'll try to be as quick as I can. But anyway, basically, I did that flight with Dan Air and arrived. I don't know whether there was anybody else on the Arcadia at that time, but it was May 17th, 18th, 1974. The ship was late coming from, I don't know whether it was coming from San Francisco or where it was coming from, but they put us in hotels overnight. So we got there fairly late at night. And so I lined up, my bus arrived and we all got off and we went in with our bags, and I was right at the back, one of the last, and me and another guy, I can't remember the name of the guy I was with, gave the name to the reception desk. Guess what? I wasn't on the list at all. And she said, there's another problem. She said, we don't have any rooms. I said, what do you mean you don't have any rooms? With that, one of the P&O reps got involved and went to the reception desk, and they told me to just sit down, and this other guy. So we sat down and we were very quiet until we thought, oh God, here we go. We'll be sleeping in the lounge somewhere in the foyer. Anyway, she said, she called us back and she said, guess what? She said, well, we have one room left. And we said, oh, that's great. One room left. And then she said, it's the bridal suite. And I said, I looked at the other guy who was with me. We looked like we were a couple. And I said, bridal suite sounds good. So we slept in a double bed. There was only one bed in the bridal suite in this hotel in Vancouver. And also when I got down to the ship, that was even worse, because I signed on, or tried to sign on. My name wasn't on the list, and they told me I didn't have a job. There was some stuff up, and they said, well, the only job I've got is, I was a waiter, and they said, there's no job for you, but we have this job as a cinema attendant. And I said, well, what's a cinema attendant? I don't have a clue what a cinema attendant. And I sort of twigged that it was an usherette. And in the end, I spent 6 months on Arcadia as the cinema attendant.
Okay, Barbara, your time's up, yeah, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara. There you go.
Imagine you were cut him off again.
But it's nice to be in the bar with you guys. It's nice to be with you guys.
Yeah.
With the ice creams at the interval.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. I was very good with them.
Good evening, Peter.
Evening, Peter.
Evening, Peter.
Evening, Taff.
Sorry, I'm a bit late.
Right.
It's all right. You can apologise to Mike Hawksworth. He got here on time.
All right. Okay.
Well, I sent his wife a message saying I was on the way up to connect. He's late. He must still be doing the washing up.
Lovely. And by the way, Taffy's arrived as well. So if you have got your dark glasses, please acknowledge it by welcoming Taffy to the crew bar, please.
Taffy.
Hey, Taffy.
Hi, Kevin.
Taffy was a Welsh.
How you doing?
And this is what I
Peter.
was saying before, you've got to be
Hi,
careful
Steve.
about who you're talking about. You think they're dead. For quite some time, we thought Kevin, the printer, was no longer with us. Isn't that right, Kevin?
Yes, I was supposedly I died in 1989, I believe.
The San Francisco earthquake. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Julie and Elmer.
And Caveman, did you survive?
Yes, I surely did. You got to thank Kit Williams for that one.
Yeah.
I'm at the stage now where I don't very ask how people are, because invariably when I say that, they tell me they're dead.
Something like that, do you? He's talking.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, there you go.
I just wait till I see them. They're still alive, and that's enough for me.
Another one, welcome, obviously, Colin. Good to see
Hello.
you, Colin.
Hi, Colin.
Sorry, late on.
Colin.
Colin.
Late Ryan here, Colin.
Hi,
everyone okay?
We do. What we'll do is, well, we've got Phil with us. Well done, Phil, for not giving up and getting a communication with the crew bar. We never did actually have the chance also to ask you about when you went to see what was the when did you go to see? Why did you go to see? Obviously, I am talking to you, boss.
All right. I thought everybody knows my bloody story anyway. I came to see, evening everybody, I came to see in, when was it, 1957, was it?
Wow.
Yeah, 1957.
Wow.
I wanted to go, when I left school, because I left school without any bloody qualifications. All I wanted to do was go to sea, because I'd heard so much about it from my mates who'd been to sea. And anyway, but my foster mother wouldn't let me go. She said, "No, you're too young." Anyway, when I got to the age of 17, she couldn't stop me. I said, all I want to do is go to sea. And anyway, I left the job I was doing and I went to sea. And the first, I went to Gravesend Sea School for 6 weeks in January, and it was as cold as cold. Anyway, there we are. And this is kinky old watchman used to come round during the middle of the night and pull your bloody sheets and blankets off. Dirty old bugger.
Wasn't me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway.
I wondered how you started up.
I started before then, Dad.
Taffy.
Anyway, then I got this telegram, as it was in those days, to join the Cunarder, the one that was painted green. I can't think of the name of it now.
Carmania.
Yeah. And I thought, I found out all about it, and millionaire ship, that is. So I thought, well, absolutely lovely. Anyway, I got home and they said, no, forget that last instruction. You're joining the Empire Ferry in Southampton. And there's a bloody old troop ship. Bloody hell.
Well, nice.
Anyway, I got down there and it's a rusty old bloody bucket it was. Where the ocean terminal is now, the new one. And right next door in the old terminal, it's been pulled down now, was the lovely Queen Elizabeth. I thought, why can't I go on there? Anyway, then that really, and the rest is history. I joined as a bellboy on the Empire Ferry, did a couple of trips on there. Then I went to the Iberia for 3 years, which was very good. I enjoyed it very much on there. Various ships after that, Chusan, Arcadia, blah, blah, blah. And really, the rest is history. You know, I worked in the bars all the time. I was promoted to assistant bartender, then bartender, and eventually Dougie Williams recommended me to go to bar manager on the Spirit of London as it came out. And bless his soul. Anyway, that's where I ended up, and it was all very nice. Wonderful ship.
Yeah.
And there's a few people here still around, and we always talk about the Spirit of London, all the Sun Princess. One of the two. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes. So there we go.
That was a very special when we started up the Spirit of London. But I wasn't there right at the start, but I was there shortly afterwards. But it was always a wonderful atmosphere on that ship, wasn't it, Phil?
Yes, always. From the word go.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Super tart.
What's that?
You kept the Spirit of London going with your specials.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Bloody wonderful.
Yeah. There was nothing like a Super Tart's baby head on a Monday.
Baby's heads
and the Lalia Lamb.
Hong Kong Hilton.
Yeah.
Well, it was Lalia Lamb and baby's heads, wasn't it?
In the Hong Kong Hilton.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Talking about that though, you remember Paul Ray, the shop manager?
Yes.
Slack Alice.
Slack Alice.
Yes.
Remember when he was going on leave one turn, and Dickie Ball was the purser, and they used to put a call out for the crew that were leaving, that the coach was at the gangway and to make their way, sort of thing. So Dickie Ball puts out over and we still had passengers on board, put out over the tannoy. Would Alice Slack please report to the gangway? Carriage awaits.
Hey, by the way, talking of Paul Ray, I must mention, I always remember those wonderful, when Christine Durrell was one of the hostesses with me on the Spirit of London, those wonderful fashion shows they used to put on, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. And the three balls still up in her head.
Her and Paul Ray used to get quite tittle on the champagne even before they started. And by the time she took to the stage, well, it was always a hoot.
Yeah,
very good.
Phil, do you remember talking about Dickie Bull, that flight from Spirit of London back to London via Amsterdam, when he was going to his wedding, his first wedding?
Oh, yes.
And there was you, Dickie, and I sitting in the back 3 seats of a CPA flight on our way to Amsterdam, and it was delayed all the way, and he was getting more and more worried about getting back in time for his wedding. And the crowning glory of the flight was you suddenly sort of said, hey, the captain said, we're about to pass over Dublin on our way to Amsterdam. And you said to me and Dickie, hey, wake up, lads, get in the toilet to do a dump. We're just about to pass over Harry Bell's house. Sorry, Judy.
Harry wasn't very pleased with that, was he?
No, he wasn't. That's funny things that stick in your mind for years and years and years.
Oh, yeah. Any news of Harry Bell?
Well, I tried to call him a couple of times, and I get a sort of no answer on his phone at all. No one's picked up, and we haven't had a Christmas card from him for probably 4 or 5 years.
Old Harry Bell, I loved him. Harry Bell was the best. The sight to see of Harry Bell was the best. Was on baggage night, the night before when all the baggage came out. Do you remember, Phil?
Absolutely. And the way he used to stand outside his cabin on the Spirit of London with his shorts, in his uniform shorts and this sort of thing, hoping someone would pass.
When he was on the Sun Princess, I think you were there as well, Peter. When they got, I think it was bags of potatoes because his door opened out. It didn't open in, and of course it was always late getting up. And they put all these bags of potato outside his door so he couldn't open his door. Was you there then, Peter, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was, yeah. So
Yeah, I was there.
one of the culprits for that.
Brendan
Put the
was-
bags of potatoes up against
Yeah,
his
I was
door.
there for that.
He used to hate it. He
was
used to
one of
hate
the,
it when I called him Harrington. I always called him Harrington just to annoy him. That really used to piss him off.
you did that. I called him Harrington as well. Got me in trouble.
Harrington Bell.
Yeah.
Harrington Bell. He hated to be called Harrington.
I think Dickie Rutter used to call him that as well.
Everyone did.
Yeah.
Is Jeannie still there?
Huh?
Yeah.
Everyone's
I
very
can't, say, I
quiet.
can't say one thing then. I have to.
I always remember Harry. Actually, I always remember Harry coming back from leave one time, and on his leave he'd grown a moustache. And when he walked into the office, Dickie Rutter took one look.
Colonel,
dear.
Immediately went to his cabin and shaved it off.
Bill said the same thing to
Oh,
the Spirit of London. We've got a full beard.
We'd all like to thank
Have you got your
Peter
plate ready,
for
Colonel?
joining in. Thanks, Peter.
Turn around to Dickie Blake, have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror, Dickie?
Flipping great. Yeah.
He wouldn't speak to me for at least a day.
So, now, talking about, we've say flying over Ireland and that. Obviously, we've got Seamus and we've got Noel representing that part of the countryside. Thank you both for being here. And that Hogan, just one question, Noel. You know, talking about the International Lounge. And you had a few different bartenders working with you. Can you remember a couple of them? I want to make sure I get the right names.
Well, the International Lounge was the lounge right on top, the night bar, wasn't it?
No, Starlight. No, the one with the big pantry.
With the horse box, yeah.
The horse box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had Vince. Kevin O'Halloran.
Whispering Jack.
And I think Aggie was there for a while as well.
You're right. You're right.
A quick story about Aggie. When I joined the Sun Princess about 76 or something, I think Colin Doughty and I went out at the same time.
Yes, you did, yeah.
My first bar was a Starlight. So Aggie was the number one up there, and I joined him. So I walked in, the place is full of Americans, obviously, and I walked in and I can see there's cocktails everywhere being made and the whole lot. And Aggie said, "Here you are, dear, it's all yours. I'm off to play Yahtzee."
Yeah, that's Aggie.
So Aggie went off and left me there. But going back to International Lounge, yeah, Vince and Kevin O'Halloran, and I think Aggie was pretty bad. And well, you, Dave and Brendan and Fraser and there. Who else was there?
I'll tell you who else. What's his name?
Des Grundy was another barman. Des Grundy.
Yeah, Des was, but
Dad. How about Dad?
Phil Gorst. Phil Gorst was a PRS as well.
Oh, yeah.
In there.
Phil,
Yeah, Phil. But talking about the International Lounge, I do remember I was working with, I think it was Peter Story at the time. We were doing Mexico, and we got down to Acapulco, and so it was the end of the cruise. We obviously all the bar takings, which were in the safe in the back bar, you know, where we used to hang the uniform in the bar, you know. But the safe there had all the money which we were all ready to take down to the purser's office to pay all into the company like we did every trip. And we had the key was a very, very, very narrow, long old key, and it snapped off in the barrel of the safe. So we couldn't get the safe opened. So Peter said, "Dave, you're going to have to go ashore to find a locksmith and take a drawing of this very basic skeleton key to go down to to see the locksmith, see if they can make up a key, and so we can open up the safe. So off I went, and I got a taxi, and in my very good, Spanish, I'd said, hola, and yellow, it's a key, yellow. Anyway, we've ended up getting down this dust track, and there was this old shack, and with a big wooden key hanging outside as the big sign. So we stopped there, and I went in, showed the picture, and the locksmith said, see, no problemo. I said, oh, that's good. He then he brings out this 14-year-old boy who was his son to come with me back to the ship to do the key in the safe. Well, I don't know if, well, actually, I could ask some of you, and maybe all of you. It's always very awkward when you bring a boy of about 14 back on board a ship. And especially when you come up with some cock and bull story that the safe's broken. But anyway, he came on board, and he did sort out. We did open the safe up. So we were able to pay all the money into the purser's office, and we were all happy. Yeah.
What happened to the little Mexican boy, Dave?
Well, we still receive a Christmas card from him every year.
Oh dear.
It's a great story.
Very good.
Well done, Dave. Well, I wasn't the barman there at the time. I don't know who was there now, who that was. Could have been Vince, I don't know.
Could have been. Yeah.
There was a boat.
The only one I remember, the one I remember was Fraser. And the only time you can really remember Fraser at night time, especially up in the Starlight, if we were going down to our cabins late at night time, you're guaranteed when you got into the lift to go down to the crew quarters, Fraser would be standing up asleep with a smile on his face. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I found him asleep one time in the dumpster.
We're coming home on cruise through Los Angeles, and we're all had a few beers, but Fraser was grinning from ear to ear, and the Harry Kushner were all singing, and Fraser was, come on, Fraser, no. He took any money he had in his pocket, he just kept throwing it to them, I said, they needed more than I do. Yeah, he was a good guy. He's a good guy, Fraser.
Oh yeah.
We need to get him in the crew bar.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, there should be no reason in 2021 why we can't get Fraser in the crew bar.
Yeah, we need to locate him. The last time I saw him, he was running a shop up in up near Durham,
Seaton Sluice,
something like that. Yeah.
Seaton Sluice. They closed the shop down.
Yeah, I went up there with
from the house.
Yeah, and also Manchester Mick. You need to get him in it.
Well, we did have communication with Mick. I spoke to him on the phone and on the FaceTime, and then we lost track of him again.
Yeah.
What about Pete the Feet?
Oh,
Peter, can I ask you? Let me ask Peter Pratt a question. The first time we've seen each other for donkey's years.
Yeah, that's
was
right.
the Spirit of London the last time we sailed together, Peter? I think it may have been.
I think it was on the Sun Princess, Chris.
On the Sun Princess.
On the Ark.
Yeah.
Well, I must own up. I'm very behind times. I haven't read your splendid book yet. I've heard very good things about it. But I'm kind of scared to read it in case I read some funny things in there. So
no, you'll be okay. You're okay, Chris.
Okay, thank you. But in that case, I'll go out and get one.
Peter, Chris, most pleasant doesn't realise
to protect the innocent. Is that right, Peter?
They don't appear till book 3.
Now, Chris, it's all right. Don't worry. If you listen, I will just read chapter 1. In 1967, the summer school holidays promised to be different to those of previous years. And that's all I'm reading tonight.
Life was never the same.
No, they weren't. Yeah, that's right.
And I need Mike Hawksworth's discharge book for the picture for the intro, Mr. Hawksworth.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't need it right now, but if you could send me a picture of your picture in your discharge book.
The early days.
Yes. Is that?
I don't think I've sent mine in, have I?
No, you haven't.
No, you
want
haven't.
to send a discharge book, and that'll be a good idea.
I'll send it through.
I'm still
Okay.
looking for mine. I've got it here somewhere.
I can
As
send it
soon as
through a
I find it,
messenger,
I'll send it to you. I'm still looking for the damn thing.
Colonel,
But if any of you can look as young as Ollie did, and also Brent and Brendan, you're the winner.
And also, once need someone to go to Oscar's house with a MacBook or a laptop and get him in the crew bar. Is that possible,
Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah, well, I actually no, I don't think so, because tonight again, I will mention now at the end of the crew bar again tonight, there will be another Oscar special from Ollie's pocket.
Oh, Jesus.
Oscar is very easily found when lockdown is down. If anybody wants to know where to find him.
Give us the screech, Gizzy.
Well, I think we'll be quite safe as long as it's not the one with the black face.
No, that's been
No, whoa.
No, that's been deleted, Chris.
And just changing the subject, this scarf was sent by the mail from Taffy, and it is Cardiff, but also it's the same colours as Leicester City, who seem to be a superior team to Cardiff City. Just saying that.
Just a little bit.
City, weren't they lucky yesterday? My goodness, that goalkeeper made that glorious cock up at the end to give them the game. I felt sorry for the guy.
I'm trying to get Taffy to talk. Taffy, are you awake, sir?
Yes, and enjoying the crew ball very much. Lovely to see Mr. Hawksworth and Jeannie and Elmer. How lovely to see you. I have a question. I have a little question for Elmer. Elmer, were you on the Pacific Princess when at the was it the 86 Los Angeles Olympic Games?
84.
I was.
84. 84. That's from Tokyo.
84.
84, yes. We were on that.
Yeah, I was.
No, it must have been 86, I think.
No, 84.
That's 84.
84.
Well, I was on board. Were you on board then, Elmer, for the Olympic Games in Los Angeles?
No. Yes, he was.
Can I just interrupt a minute? Colin,
Yes.
Crystal Palace have just equalised.
Oh, good. Sorry, thank you.
No problem.
Live comment. Sorry, guys, it's a live show.
It is very much so.
I'll ask the question again then. Elmer, were you there was only one Los Angeles Olympic Games.
84.
Were you on board at that time?
Yes, he was.
Yes, it was Tokyo.
Tokyo.
No.
Tokyo, that's what it was.
Okay.
1960.
64
Oh.
Tokyo.
I'll just briefly ask a question. I always had a very good reputation with senior officers on board, you know, particularly Commodore Young, who I locked in his toilet accidentally. But another story came into my head the other day, and I thought, who was the purser, Mr. Hawksworth, who was the purser that they called Danger Man?
Ron Davis.
Ron Davis. Right.
Ron
Well,
Davis.
I was logged for apparently trying to drive. I'm not proud of this, by the way. It has to come out. I actually got logged after going home to Wales for 3 days. I actually got logged when I got back to the Canberra, the Oriana, sorry, for trying to drive him and his wife over in Southampton Docks. Apparently, that was the charge, that I had nearly run him and his wife over in the car park. I picked up a hire car and I was driving back to Wales. And as I say, I'm not proud of that. But I thought it was worth a mention. That was one of my earlier.
It wasn't deliberate. Are you sure it wasn't deliberate, Alan?
Yeah. No. Oh, no. I must have been driving erratically, but obviously I didn't try and run him over. But that's what he said.
It was a bit dry. That's all I can say about Rondo. A bit dry, a lacking sense of humour somewhat sometimes. I don't know.
He was that day for sure.
Well, in actual fact, Chris, you're wrong there, because when he was one of the deputy pursers on Canberra with me, whenever it was, we were anchored off somewhere in Portugal, and he said, should we go ashore and have some sardines? So we went off on the tender, walked along the beach, and then we came at the end of the beach, there was a tunnel. And we walked through the tunnel, and in the middle of the tunnel, there was an Ogwar, Pakistani engine crewman, in his normal sort of, white gown sort of thing, flogging watches. He said to Ron, first of all, he said, "You want to buy watch? Special price." And Ron said, "No." He said to me, "You want to buy watch special price?" And I said, "No." I said, "Do you know who he's just spoken to?" And he said, "No, but he didn't. He's an archery guy, didn't want to buy watch." And I said, "Well, that's the purser of the Canberra." And he said, "Oh. And that was the last we saw of him. when we got to the other side and sat down to sardines, Ron said to me, he said, "You can buy the two bottles of wine today," because he said, you told the bastard where I came from. It sounds funny coming back, but it was a very strange thing in the middle of the tunnel between two beaches in Portugal to find the ship's crew flogging watches.
That would have been Albufeira with the tunnel.
Albufeira.
Yeah, Praia de Rocha, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so, yes.
Praia de Rocha, where you used to go ashore in the boat.
Yes, Praia de Rocha.
You've all been selling watches down there as well, have you?
He didn't actually offer us. He didn't offer us a share of the price. That was the problem, you see. Anyway,
I was just thinking, that the other day that who would really like this new generation of the crew bar? That would be Jerry Dyer. He would be absolutely chuffed with this. Jerry Dyer, who passed away. Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah, at least he made an appearance, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, at least we got him on. That's why we got to get people on ASAP.
And Bayless has got an iPhone. You can get him on.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Doug Bayless.
Oh, Doug.
Doug Bayless. He doesn't want to.
Yeah, I send him the replay every week, and I send him the invite, but that's okay. But anyway, in the meantime, Mr. Proctor and St. Louis, how are you, sir?
Hey, how you guys doing? Good to see you all. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah. So for the people who don't know you, can you give us your history again?
Yeah, I went to sea in 1977. Went to Canberra, and then did a trip on the Oriana, and then I spent 18 months on the Arcadia in Oz, and then went to the West Coast, Sun Princess, Island Princess. In fact, I got my photographs out here. Yeah, a good one of the Sun there. And there's a good one of the island. That was actually the Island Venture when that photograph was taken, but I got photographs of all, the 5 ships that I worked on, and I've taken care of them for the last 40 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you all. I see the caveman there.
Yeah. What's up, Igor?
Igor and caveman.
No, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Nice to see all the old familiar faces again. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
We're well represented tonight. We've got Purser's Department, bar staff, engineers, entertainment staff.
Hey, I wanted to ask Peter Pratt. Any word from Dave Stevenson or Dickie Bull?
Yeah, David Stevenson lives about 50 or 60 miles away from me. I last saw him about 3 months ago. But I speak to him on the phone quite regularly.
Is he still in Brighton?
No, that's John Booth. David Stevenson lives up in Carlisle.
Yeah.
He finished up on the Queen Mary, and he's retired now about 4 or 5 years ago. Dickie Bull, I went out to Australia the year before last, and I saw Dickie Bull then. He's not doing too well. He's got a thing called peripheral neuropathy. I can't really explain it too well, but it's a bit like multiple sclerosis.
Oh God!
And I heard from him about a few months ago, and he's really struggling now. He's been in and out of hospital and intensive care, and
oh dear,
he's not doing too well at all, I'm afraid.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I remember with Dickie Bull, I mean, we had some great times with him, you know. I mean, although obviously he wanted to run the ship as well as he did, but he didn't sort of hold back on us having some fun as well. And Taffy, and I think Taffy and I would like to thank him, because we were both late one Vancouver arrival time. You know, we used to have to do the immigration for all the passengers before they got off. They used to queue up in the international lounge, and the wine stewards of the cruise would have to go and help with the passenger control, guiding them through. And this particular, obviously, the arrival in Vancouver was the morning after the end of cruise disco, fancy dress party, whatever you want, in the crew bar the night before. And again, it was another good night. It was really, really good night. And I think it was either a tramps and tarts, or I don't know, whatever it was. And I must have been a tart. All right, Izzy. Anyway, Taffy and I got there early, and we finished up there late. So, and we also finished up not arriving at 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning for this passenger direction. So we get a call, eventually a bellboy, one of the bellboys comes down and gets us on the shake, and we get up there, and I think it's Phil Butcher as bar manager and Dickie Bull both doing what Taffy and I should have both been doing that morning. So we get called into the office later that day, and Dickie said, look, he said, I'm going to give you a warning, but if you behave yourself for the rest of your voyage, I'll screw up the warning. And I thought, I said, well, that's a bit. I said, well, thanks very much. I said, but if I recollect, I've only been back 2 weeks into my 4 months, and Taffy's only got 2 weeks before he goes home on leave. He said, take it or leave it. I said, well, I'll take it anyway. It was great. It was great. But no, boys, sorry to say, it's well past 8 o'clock now for the crew bar. And it's come to that time. And Colonel always acknowledges me to say something. And again, I want to thank all of us for being here. You know, it's been another great one. Special welcome to Mike Hawksworth coming in, and obviously for Elmer and Jeannie. Thanks for coming in. That's brilliant, really lovely, good. And again, all the way from Vancouver with Nick, you know, and obviously Mark coming over there as well. So it's been a real treat. And for the regulars, again, good to see you all. So.
I just want to say, Elmer can go up the apples and pears now, reject his gift.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, but obviously, give yourselves a big round of applause and look forward to Oscar's story.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. And I muted everybody, which I didn't do that much tonight. And we'll see you next week. And we're good. So with that, I will close the crew down.
Hello, everyone. And this is one of Oscar's tales from Ollie's pocket. Martha's Tale. All jokes get recycled. And the joke told on the Christmas edition of The Monte Carlo. And the croupier says, I'll lay you 10 to 1. And I said, it's a funny time, but I'll be there. It was the punchline before the second song of the act that Martha used to do. It was also my signal to stop serving drinks in the International Lounge, originally the Churchill Room, and get backstage into the wings as I was next on stage with my Al Jolson act. Chris Chapman on the running order backstage had my act posted as standing ovation, as of course that was the way we milked the audience for the act. 1 week, Martha was in her cabin drinking Dutch courage and overdid the gin and it, fell asleep and didn't turn up for the act. Chris Chapman grabbed me to go on in place early, while someone ran down to get Martha. I did my Al Jolson bit, and at the end, Chris Chapman from the side of the stage hissed, "Do another one! Martha is not here yet." So I said to the band leader, Jack, April showers? And he said, in what key? And I said, C, but very slowly. When April showers, they come your way, and so on. At the end of the song, Chris signaled with his hand in a circular motion. So I said to Jack, again, jazz it up. Off we merrily went. When April showers, they come your way, and etc. Halfway through, I saw Martha appear at the wings, a little worse for wear. So I got off stage at the end of the song. The extra bevy Martha had consumed made her act even funnier than usual. Just another Sun Princess tale. Ta-ta for now. Oscar. Oh. And always remember. Life's sweetest